morning, and today we are talking about the appearances and looks. We already completed the first chapter, that was about the experience, and in that chapter we used the present perfect and the simple past. We fused it together. And today we are concerned with the second chapter of our grammar, that is appearance. Now, the very first thing that we need to know while talking about the appearance is how to talk about the appearance of the people or thing. First thing that we need to know is how to talk about the appearance of a people or thing. Or say, the first thing we are trying to do is judging from the appearance. How to judge a person from the appearance. For that we have three different structures. First structure goes from your book, it's 2.1. She looks like an ostrich. So now, while we are judging from the appearance, what we do is, we have the three different ways of representation. The first way of the representation is using looks like. With the looks like, we use the noun. We use the noun. For example, looks like an arrow. This is also noun. We cannot say looks like beautiful. We cannot say looks like fat. We cannot say looks like lonely. Why? We cannot use the adjective or any other part of speech with looks like. With looks like, we only use the noun. She looks like an ostrich, she looks like an owl, she looks like a donkey, she looks like a monkey, this building looks like a sheep, that building looks like a bus, this bus looks like a car, that motorcycle looks like a sports bike. Now what we are using with the looks like is always the noun. Looks like is always followed by the noun. What we are doing here is actually making the similarity between the subject and the later part of the sentence, the complement, right? They both are similar. This looks like indicates that she and ostrich are similar. So, whenever we are using this looks like, we are only supposed to use the noun. Looks like plus noun. It is not followed by any other part of speech. And if we look into the second example suggests us that with the looks, it is always the adjective with the looks. Like, he looks handsome. We cannot say he looks Salman Khan. Right? We cannot say this, but we can say this. It means looks is always followed by the adjective. So we have looks plus adjective. Looks like plus noun. He looks like Salman Khan. He looks handsome. In one case, with the looks like, we are only using the noun. And with the looks, we are using the adjective. We cannot say he looks like a handsome. We cannot say he looks Salman Khan. Rather, we have to say he looks like Salman Khan. That is, looks like is followed by noun. And he looks handsome. Now this looks is followed by adjective. And next is, if we use looks plus as if or as though. If we use looks plus as if or as though, we are supposed to use the whole sentence. So these are the three structures that we need to know to judge the appearance. With the looks like, it comes the noun. With the looks comes the adjective. And with looks plus as if or as though comes the whole sentence. Comes the complete sentence. Rather than whole sentence, let's say complete sentence. So this is how we have the three different ways to judge people about their appearance, to judge them. Let's check this one. So what we studied here is with the looks like, it's the noun. With the looks, it's the adjective. With the looks as if or as though plus complete sentence. These are the structures that we use to talk about the appearance or to judge about the appearance. For example, this building looks like a sheep. See here, looks like is followed by noun. In next case, we can say building looks gigantic. Now, here, looks is followed by the adjective, noun, and here, this building looks like as if it was, as if it is made to accommodate a large mass. Now here with the looks plus as if or as though, we are using the whole sentence. So this is how we talk about or judge about the appearance. We judge someone from the appearance. In your book, the examples given are: it looks as if it is covered in icing. See, it looks as if plus whole sentence. It is covered in icing. It looks really strange. It looks really strange. This is the quality, right? Now it looks like a wedding cake. It looks like a wedding cake. So always we have noun with looks like, adjective with looks, and looks as if and as though is followed by the complete sentence. Beside this, what we need to know is okay. Beside this, to talk about the appearance, we have another copular verb, that is seem. And before getting into the appearance, sorry, I should have started with the copular verb. But now let's understand what is copular verb. What is copular verb? It is a verb to join an adjective or noun complement to the subject. It is a verb used to join a noun or adjective complement to the subject. What does this mean is, this copular verb indicates that a subject and the complement denotes the same thing. For example, let's say the stew smells good. Now this verb good is establishing the relation, smell is establishing the relation between good and stew. This good and stew are similar now. They are with the alikeness now. If I say cake is sweet, this sweet and cake are alike. And this alikeness is indicated with the copular verb is. Thus, these verbs which are used to join the adjective or the noun complement to the subject. He seems to be lonely. Seems is joining the loneliness, right, to the subject he. So whenever the verb comes joining the noun or adjective complement to the subject, we call it the copular verb. And these copular verbs are used to talk about the appearances. These copular verbs indicates us that the subject and the complement denotes the same thing. The subject as well as the complement denotes the same thing. For example, if I say the stew smells good, here this stew stew and good are the same thing. Are the same thing. Now this is joined by the word smell. Here, if I say cake is sweet, the sweet and cake are the same thing. And now this subject is joined to its complement with the help of a verb. And this verb which joins the adjective, only the adjective or the noun complement to the subject, we call it the copular verbs. Let's say some example. The milk turned sour. Now we are joining this sour with the milk. This milk and the sour are same now. And this sameness is indicated with this verb. And this verb which joined these two is called the copular verb. For example, the night grew dark. The night grew dark. There is a likeness, similarity between night and dark. And this subject night is joined to the complement dark. Right? This is the adjective with the help of a word grew. So this grew joining this adjective complement adjective to the noun is the copular verb. Copular verb actually pairs the subject and the complement, if that is the noun or the adjective complement. It couples them. Therefore, we call it the copular verb. She spoke intelligently. Now, see, intelligently is the adverb which is modifying the speaking, right? So, spoke intelligently. Here also, we see the comparison between two different entities. In the same way, we can make this comparison, we can make this association of the noun or adjective complement to the subject by using the copular verb seem. Now, what are the structures for seem? Hope you understand the copular verb. Copular verb actually joins the subject with its complement. Here, the adjective or the noun complement is seen similar to be with the subject. The qualities, the statements made through the noun or the adjective complement is supplied to the subject of the sentence. So now, to talk about the appearance, talk about the general impression. So now, to talk about the general impression. Now, to talk about the general impression, what we do is we use the structure with seems. Now, we have different ways to do that. For example, he seems lonely. He seems to be lonely. Now here, what we can do is we can have this to be, or we cannot have that. We can simply have seems, the subject, seems, and the quality or the complement that we are relating with the subject. Or this seems can also be followed by to be. This seems can also be followed by to be or to be may not be there. Now to talk about the negative, we simply add does or do not in front of seems. He do not seem to be lonely. He do not seem lonely. Now here we have added not, negation in front of seem to talk about the negative structure. So while we are talking about the appearance and we are talking about the general impression of the people, what we do is we use seem. And this seem can be used either with to be or without the to be. For example, given in your book, he seems lonely can be written as he seems to be lonely. First comes the subject, then seems or seems plus to be. If the subject is plural, you only have seem. If it's singular, it seems. Plus to be, and then what is the entity that you are assigning or joining to the subject comes after that. And if it is about the negative, he does not seem to eat too much. He does not seem to be a bachelor. Here what we do is we use the negation before the seems. After that, talking about the approximate ages, what we do is, if we are supposed to talk about the approximate, after the seems we have the structure to talk about the approximate age. Now, what do you mean by approximate age? Approximate age means when we are not sure about the particular age, about the real age, and we talk in a guess, right? Depending upon the physicality and all. If I see a kid small in height, texture and speaking, but speaking clearly, I would say he is the kid in after 8 or 9 years. And if I see the kid who is small enough and not even able to speak, I may say he is a child below 6. So approximation means you are not getting to the exact point. Rather, you are talking about the near value. You are talking about the broader spectrum. You are talking about the pool in which it belongs, rather than talking about the exact pinpointed location. Approximation means getting near, not exactly to the point. So now how do we talk about that? He was born in the middle 60s. He is in his early 20s. To do this, we need to understand this concept of early, middle and late. Now, when the graph ranges from 1 to 3, we call it early. 4, 5, 6 is the middle. 7, 8, 9 is the late. Now, what happens is, if a person is 22 years old, we call him, he is in early 20s. If the person is 26 years old, we call him, he is in mid 20s. If the person is 27, 28 or 29 years old, we call him, he is in his late 20s. So with the division of this scale, the 3 digits that fall comes first belongs to the early age. Middle 4, 5, 6 and late is 7, 8 and 9. So on. If someone is born in 1982, we call him to born in 82. 2 comes in early. This means early 80s. If someone is born in 89, 9 comes in late. This is late 80s. If it's 2001, 1 comes in early. We call it early 21st century, right? So on. Whenever some digit comes with this scale, with the first 3 part, then we call it the early. With the middle 3 part, we call it the mid, and the later 3 part, we call it late or later. Like for example, in our book, it's given he was born in the mid 60s or middle 60s. He was born in mid or middle 60s. Now what does this mean? He must have been born in 1964, 65 or 66. These 3 must be the year in which this person is born. He is not born in 61, neither in 62, nor in 63. Neither he is born in 67, 68 or 69. Now, this is only possible that he is born in 64, 65 or 66. So, we are not reaching to the particular point. Rather, we are taking the approximate value. We are reaching to the near point, but we are not reaching the exact point. Now, another sentence in your book says, he is in early 20s. He is in early 20s. This means this man must be from 20, 21, 22 and 23. Beyond this, neither this man is below this, nor this man is above this range of age. So here with the mid, early and late, what we see is we divide the time into 3 different frames. The first frame is the early, the second frame is the middle, and the third frame is the late, right? So whenever we say some people say the man is in his early 70s. Now what do you mean? He must have been 70, 71, 72 or 73. If I say this man is in his early 30s, that means he must be 30, 31, 32 or 33. Now he is not below 30 and he is not above 33. If I say some man is in his mid 40s, that means this man is 44, 45 or 46. See, in each of the cases, we are reaching the near value, but we are not reaching the exact value. So this is all about the approximation of the age. This is all about the grammar that we are supposed to study today. We talked about how to talk about the appearance of the people and thing and judge them by the appearance. We also looked the structure with the look. We looked the structure with the seams, and we talked how to talk about the approximate age and also the copular verbs, right? So these copular verbs actually what they do is they relate the subject, join the subject of the sentence either with the noun complement or the adjective complement. This is all for today. Thank you, class.